Hey everyone, Donut here, and let's talk about them big scary police tanks again. I made a video the other day talking about them old police tanks, and jokes sometimes just go right over people's heads. We had an incident over the weekend where officers used an armored vehicle to rescue a 10-year-old boy. This whole incident started on Friday when 31-year-old Donald Gazaway went into an apartment of a woman who he was kind of friends with, pointed a gun at her, and demanded money. She ran outside of the apartment, leaving her 10-year-old boy inside of the apartment with Gazaway to tell neighbors what was going on. Officers set up a perimeter, and then they called Gazaway on the phone. That's when shots fired were reported and the surrounding apartments were evacuated. So now we have a barricaded suspect with a 10-year-old boy as a hostage. On Saturday morning, SWAT breached the door to speak with Gazaway. That's when he opened fire on police. Police reported that Gazaway was using the 10-year-old boy as a shield and holding a gun to his neck. A little bit later on Saturday, Gazaway took the boy to a car inside of the garage at the apartment building and fired more shots. The suspect eventually gave up after a 30-hour standoff. He fired over 20 shots at officers. The officers didn't fire a single shot. Because the officers were protected by their armored vehicle while Gazaway was firing shots at them, they were not harmed at all. A lot of people still complain on social media about how police don't need armored vehicles. And yes, they are called tanks quite a bit, but have you ever seen how Russian police handle situations like this? According to the descriptions that I can find for this video, these are Russian police officers, and this is what happens when they have a barricaded suspect. While we're on the topic of Russian police and Russian forces, have you guys ever seen the Russian theater hostage crisis? For those of you that have never heard of the Moscow theater hostage crisis, it's an extremely interesting situation to read about. Back in 2002, about 40 to 50 people took over a theater in Russia and took about 900 hostages.
Молодые люди в камуфляжной форме и черных комбинезонах, пистолетов, гранат и автоматов не меньше, чем у воюющих в Чечне.
On the first day of the attack, hostage takers let about 200 people go, including pregnant women, children, Muslims, some foreigners, and people who were injured. It ended up being a 2.5-day standoff due to the layout of the theater, and because the hostage takers had heavy explosives, Russian officials used gas. Spetsnaz forces pumped an undisclosed chemical agent into the theater. It ended up killing all 40 to 50 of the terrorists inside, but it also killed 130 hostages. I know I went off the rails a little bit on what this video was about, but this is just a super interesting incident to look at, tactics wise. I'm going to leave a link to this incident in the comments below, so that if you want to take a look at it, you can. Let me know what you think about how they handled the situation. Do you think that there is anything Russian special forces could have done different? Everyone, this is Donut. Please come check out the Daily Donut at 8 a.m. every weekday morning at twitch.tv/donutoperator. Just to remind everyone, if you have Amazon Prime and you want to help support the channel, you can subscribe to my Twitch channel completely free. Please have a fantastic day.